Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Emma Lingard. Tonight we get ready for Crufts 2014 by meeting some of those from our region who are going. And it's a year ago since Kate Middleton visited Grimsby, so we look back to that day. But first, it's over to James Dunn for a roundup of the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, a 16-year-old boy is seriously injured in what is believed to have been an assault, and memories of the day the princess visited Grimsby. A 16-year-old boy is in a critical condition after a serious assault in Grimsby yesterday. The assault happened at 2:22 a.m. and the boy sustained serious injuries to his hand, head and back on Macaulay Street. He was taken to Grimsby's Diana, Princess of Wales Hospital, where police say he is in a critical but stable condition. Humberside Police are investigating and would like to hear from any witnesses. North East Lincolnshire Council wants to know what you think on plans to impose a borough-wide drinking ban on drinking in public. Councillors have already approved the plan, which would give police the power to confiscate alcohol in any public space. This week, they began a public consultation to find out what residents think before deciding whether or not to impose it. There are already controlled drinking zones where public drinking is banned in Cleethorpes and Grimsby town centres, although problems in areas such as Freeman Street have led the council to consider the wider ban.
What they are called is controlled drinking zones. It's not an alcohol ban. These are controlled drinking zones. It gives police officers the power to confiscate alcohol from people who may be causing trouble because they are under the influence of drink. It is not a, you can't have a can of beer. It is a, if you are causing nuisance and trouble, the police will have the power to take it off you. It's another tool in the police's armoury to keep antisocial behaviour off our streets. And that's all it is.
I think we should only impose legislative restrictions where there is a problem to be solved. Right across the force area, we don't have a problem with street drinking. There are discrete pockets, but in North East Links there is a significant problem that I think everybody is aware of, and that's why this is the right thing to do in this area.
One of Labour's prospective MEPs came to town to tell councillors how vital the common market is for a shipping region like the Humber. Former MEP Richard Corbett lost his seat to the BNP in 2009 but hopes to return to the European Parliament, where he's currently a special advisor in the May elections.
What's vital in a place like Grimsby, we're on the Humber Estuary, which is our export highway pointed at the heart of Europe. It's vital for jobs. Also in our region, that's 325,000 jobs depend on exports to the rest of Europe. The goods that we manufacture here are sold all over Europe. It's vital we have, firstly, access to that European market, the world's largest market, and secondly, that we are at the table where the common rules for that common market are decided, because otherwise it would be too easy for them to make rules that shut out competition from British firms. It's a vital interest that we are there.
Each party has a team of candidates standing, hoping to get one of the seats allocated to represent Yorkshire and the Humber. There'll be more on the candidates from other parties in due course in the run-up to the election. 6,000 foreign cigarettes and a kilogram of tobacco have been seized from business premises in the west of Hull. Trading Standards and Revenue and Customs started an operation in February, acting on intelligence to visit certain businesses with sniffer dogs and handlers. They seized the cigarettes and tobacco with foreign labels, which the council claims are unregulated and often contain high amounts of tar and other harmful chemicals. It's a year ago today that the Duchess of Cambridge came to visit Grimsby. On March the 5th, the whole world's eyes were on Grimsby as the Duchess made one of few public appearances while pregnant with the future King of England, George, although she didn't know that he was a king then. And there was a worldwide media storm after one woman claimed she had let slip she was having a girl. But the controversy was soon cleaned up, and it's a day that many will remember fondly for the rest of our lives. And it was also a great chance to show off just what Grimsby has to offer.
We had the future Queen and the future King of England that we didn't know at the time. We didn't know visiting our little museum. It was brilliant, yeah. And we all, I mean, we still talk about it now. I can't believe it's a year ago. So everyone still talks about it. And we still get people coming into the centre and saying, is this where Catherine, you know, yes, and did she, yes, and that sort of thing. So she did give us a boost. And so when people sort of have a go at these royalty, the amount of money that they can bring into an area, and just by them visiting, create stuff that we couldn't ever possibly afford.
That's all from me. See you next time.
Now, the highlight of the dog showing year has to be Crufts, held at Birmingham's NEC and attended by dog lovers from across the globe. And many competitors from our region have qualified. I went along to a dog training club in Grimsby to meet some of the members who'll be going this year. As another Crufts looms, these dogs from the Clever Canines Dog Training Club are being prepared. For Anne and her dog Oliver, they've done this before. But being successful comes down to the judge.
And the judge, whether it's a judge that would like your breeding and how you are on the day. It's nerves kicking sometimes, I think. It doesn't help.
Another veteran of the ring is Joe, a 4-year-old Rottweiler.
He goes to ringcraft quite a lot, but Joe has a lot of training doing obedience work as well, so he doesn't just do breed showing, he does obedience work and that sort of thing, and he does that every week. But not really a lot for Crufts, just in the run up to it, obviously getting him ready, grooming and a bit of extra training, getting back into the routine.
However, all the competitors agree it's about the experience and not just the showing and winning.
But it's all about having the fun, it's all about the experience. I was going anyway, so, and these absolutely love going. You know, they love the in the ring and the showmanship about it. So yeah, it's all part of fun.
And over the next couple of shows, we'll be meeting some more of the competitors of Crufts 2014. And tomorrow we'll be featuring Karen and her bearded collie Solly and Ed with his Rottweiler Joe. Now, it's a year ago since Catherine Middleton, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cambridge, visited Grimsby. It was a cold, grey, misty day, but her visit to the town cheered everyone's spirits up. A year on, James Dunn has been to visit the people who met her on that day.
The streets were lined and the world's press camped out in Grimsby as the Duchess of Cambridge visited the Fishing Heritage Centre, Peaks Lane Fire Station and Havelock Academy. And while the press was soon gone, for the people here, it was a day to remember, something to tell the grandchildren about.
We had all this area outside here was with fences, and there were crowds and crowds of people that all came to see Kate as she came. When the car finally pulled up, it was brilliant.
So all the staff were able to shake her hand. They've all got a photograph of that. And I just remember when she'd gone, everybody was walking on air.
Well, we was all lined up at the reception over there, and then we were all waiting for her, but we were all really nervous. But we all felt really at ease because she's one of them people, when you meet her and you see her coming, she said hello and things like that, and we felt really at ease with her.
It sent a message saying that we will only accept the very best for them. Our motto is broadening horizons, and to have someone as high profile as the Duchess of Cambridge here was absolutely exceptional for our students, and it's left a huge legacy and a very, very high expectation.
She's come and watch sports so the students can show off their talents, and the students are very proud of doing that. The Performing Arts faculty got to show their performance of We Will Rock You, and that was another amazing moment for them. It's fantastic for the students to show off their talents and really show what Havelock are about.
And it was just amazing to show us not a short snippet of what we had to offer. And she really enjoyed it, and everyone was just full of anticipation and excitement for her.
I was quite overwhelmed because obviously she's a princess, and I'd watched her on TV when she got married, but she did look really, to say she was pregnant, she didn't really look pregnant. She looked very nice.
Now, one person who did have the opportunity to meet her was Councillor Mike Burton of Immingham, who at the time was the Mayor of North East Lincolnshire, and he joins us now. It's a year since Kate Middleton came to visit Grimsby. You were Mayor at the time. What was it like meeting her?
It was a fantastic day. It wasn't a very bright day. In fact, it was a very misty, cold day. Unfortunately, because of the mist and the cold, she was late arriving. But then that did give me the privilege and pleasure of going outside the Heritage Centre and meeting a great deal of the people who had been waiting around since early morning. Some of them had been there from 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Great number of children there, and I had a wonderful time walking down the rows of children giving high fives.
And what was the atmosphere like amongst the crowds?
Very patient, and a lot of expectation, and quite a lot of joy and happiness. There was quite a good feeling, a good sense of comradeship between the various organisations and people there, all milling about trying to get the best view, but all trying to help each other in some way or other, moving children forward so that they could get to the front of the crowds and things like that.
Now, when she arrived, you obviously had the pleasure of meeting her. What was she like as a person?
Nice, very attractive, far more attractive in real life than any picture can show, certainly.
Now, when royalty comes, there's obviously that protocol and etiquette you've to follow. If you hadn't had that opportunity to have a proper conversation with her, what would you have liked to have talked about?
I would have liked to have asked her actually a bit more about her pregnancy, because there was so much excitement at the time. And as you know, there was quite a lot of reporting after the visit of whether it was going to be a girl or a boy. And I would have not been so worried about whether it was going to be a boy or a girl, but I would have been asking her how she felt about it.
Well, that's it, because there was a bit of hoo-ha afterwards with that person saying Kate had told them she was going to have a daughter when she didn't say that. It hit the headlines in papers around the world. That didn't dampen the event, did it?
Certainly didn't. And one of the real attractions I found on the day, that was when she was going around outside and greeting some of the people, particularly the children. She was very attracted to youngsters. She would bob down and then talk to them, so she was at their level, which I found very attractive, because most people just bend over and talk down to children, but she actually got down to the level of them. And the other thing I noticed was that when she was having a conversation with somebody, a lady in waiting would try and move her along, and she would move along a couple of steps and then go back and finish the conversation. And I also found that quite amusing.
And there's always a big attraction when royalty come to visit an area. What's the legacy of visits like this for the region?
Well, certainly on the day and for a few days afterwards, there was a tremendous amount of media interest in the whole event, and so it puts the area right on the map, not only in this country but around the world, because whatever people say about royalty and the royal family, they certainly do attract media attention, and therefore we were put right in the spotlight. And then to some degree I'm sure that that legacy carries on, because people see that this is in a place that's ideal for living in and for regeneration and starting businesses and so forth. And so yes, it is a good advert for the whole area.
Would you say the royal visit was a highlight of your time as mayor?
Oh, it certainly was a highlight. Yes, I enjoyed it immensely. It's one of those things that you only get one chance to do, possibly in a lifetime. So yes, I did enjoy it.
Well, thank you, Mike, for talking to us. That was Councillor Mike Burton, who as Mayor of North East Lincolnshire met the Duchess of Cambridge a year ago today on her visit to Grimsby. Well, that brings us to the end of another programme. We love hearing from you, so send your news stories to news@estuary.tv or tweet us at estuarytv, or drop us a line via Facebook, or you can pick up the phone and call us on 01472 315 561. Until tomorrow, goodbye.